I gotta tell you, dude, in Lorena we trust. Like our defensive line is really good, but Lorena came up with two really great saves in the second half. One was like a diving extension, a shot from distance that is going into the side of the net. It's going to go in the goal. Another one was like point blank. Like there was a through ball. She was coming. This gal just had to slide it in. And Lorena was able to sprawl and get a kick save there. It was, I'm liking her. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Currently on No Other Pod, part of KC Sports Network. It's me, Daniel Kooser, here with Chris Wright to talk all things Kansas City Current and the National Women's Soccer League. Chris, hello buddy, Victory Pod. Not getting sick of these. How you doing?
Oh, I could get used to these indefinitely. I'm doing well, man. We a big win, close-ish sporting game, right? And then you follow women's basketball. They had the the WNBA draft last night. So
was that the draft? Okay,
yeah,
all right.
A lot going on.
I'll tell you one thing, man. If a WNBA team came here, I would embrace it and be a fan. But I am not. I don't get into sports where I don't really have a horse in the race, so to speak. You know what I mean? I want to like root for someone, but then again, we do it for Premier League. I do it for Formula One. Like, would you just pick your favorites and follow? So who's your favorite WNBA team then?
Oh my goodness.
Or do you just watch?
I don't want to be that person that says the Fever because of Caitlin Clark. I can't be that person, but I do like watching the Minnesota Lynx.
Okay.
Yeah. They have Nafisa Collier, and some other entertaining players. So
good. I don't, the league as a whole doesn't get like a huge spotlight on it. It gets a lot of shade sometimes as like not being entertaining enough or something. And it's like, I don't know about all that.
I think it's getting better now. You're seeing, just like the NWSL, you're seeing more money, more media rights, just, a ton more resources pumped into it. So it's a lot of fun.
True.
Yeah.
Well, hey, watch me sporting a jersey if Patrick Mahomes invests in a team or something. Like watch me getting like partial season tickets. I ain't gonna mess around.
No, I think they were in the running. Kansas City was actually in the running for one of the expansion teams at one point because the Longs and Charlotte, I think, were.
There's been chatter about it.
Man, a lot of fun,
dude. So you had an exciting weekend. Did you have to replace some brakes?
Oh man, that thing was, brakes, rotors, and I kind of flushed the brake fluid and did all that, and it was miserable.
Sounds like I didn't know you were a mechanic like this.
YouTube. They like $1,300 to replace your brakes and rotors for your front and rear.
Yeah.
You give YouTube a try pretty damn quick.
And but you did it. You did the shit.
I did.
That's wild.
And I've done it on, I think, the last 4 cars we've had total over the, spanning years. But
wow.
It's one of the few things I think that I can do okay. I feel pretty.
I am enamored with you because I will have no problem taking it to a professional and being like, hey, I ain't trying to mess up my shit. Like, here, please take care of me.
Well, I always have a little bit of doubt, because you always can kind of second guess yourself. You're like, did I, tighten that lug nut enough? Did I, put on those brake calipers right? Or whatever it is. And then
whatever those are.
Professional. But like you go to pro and you pay the money, you get better service for sure. But, $1,300 is a lot.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah. If you can save a little money and buy your own parts and stuff, hell yeah. Dude, I did not save a little money this weekend, by the way. As we know, I'm still kind of in the mend with physical therapy and stuff, and cutting my toenails is an issue. So I had my first ever pedicure on Friday. Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right.
You ever done that?
I have not.
Bro, it is, first of all, it's not a bad time. Someone else trimming your nails, filing your shit, scrubbing your calves and feet and putting some cuticle oil on there. Little hot bubble bath for your feet. The only problem is my flexibility is still not great, so I kind of got to lift my own legs to move them. Like I don't really have that hip flexor strength to lift it on its own.
Right.
Working on it. I'm up to 6 straight leg raises with no stopping. Just 6. Then it gets a little sore. No, yeah. I add 1 every week. I just keep trying to increase. But no, pedicures, dude. All the ladies listening right now are like, well, that's where it's at. Like, hell yeah, treat yourself. I had no idea. She did nick my pinky toe. I got a little owie there. And I'm like, don't like that. Also, it tickles a little bit when they're getting like the calluses on your feet and shit.
Okay.
Kind of ticklish. I was just giggling. But it was a kind of a little fun husband-wife thing. Marissa was next to me, and we just got pedicures, man. Nice little Friday evening.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, sounds like a good time.
Yeah, when you can't cut your own toenails at the moment, you have someone else do it for you. So, hell of a deal. Saturday, though, or no, Sunday, I went to the sporting game. You said it was a close sporting game. Not really. Not in the second half. It is what it is.
It was good at one point, wasn't it? Or was it? Or am I mistaken?
Well, sure. We had to come back from 1-0 and then down 2-1 and then lost 4-2. So it is what it is. I will not be holding you to the conversation Jimmy and I had last night about WrestleMania week. We're all aware of it. Jimmy and I geeked as much as it is. I know you would geek right along with me. Let's just don't do it. Let's just not. But are there? You get into big indie wrestling sometimes. What other like indie promotions are there that do stuff on this weekend?
You know, typically a lot of like, oh my God, Ring of Honor used to do stuff, but since AEW owns Ring of Honor now, not as much, but they usually have like a big like wrestling fan fest down there. Like they have a lot of, like WrestleCon, and they have a lot of just smaller promotions that kind of trail off of the coattails of WrestleMania to, kind of fill up those evenings just kind of in and around WrestleMania.
Because you're not going to perform at the same time. You're not going to get people to watch. It's not going to happen.
No, and it's a great way to get people involved in your indie promotion as well. And I mean, WrestleMania, there's so many fans, man. So many fans. They're not just mainstream. There's a lot of hardcore fans that will attend those indie events. And,
Dude, you want me to let me hit the people here with a real funny story real quick before we get into the game. Remember when we went to TNA and Jimmy was talking to this guy, and this guy was like, this guy says to Jimmy, this guy works there, by the way. He's a security guard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he goes,
fantastic.
He goes, yeah, I do some indie wrestling. You ever watch any indie wrestling? And Jimmy, for some reason, goes, oh yeah, totally. And I'm like, no, you don't. Why are you saying that? And so the guy doubles down. Is like, oh, nice. What kind of stuff you watch? And Jimmy has to like dig into his freaking back of his brain, and he's like, well, I think there's the promotion in Olathe, just because he works in Olathe, so he's kind of aware of it. And this guy goes, oh, nice. I wrestled at that one last month. And Jimmy's like, no, wait, what did he say? Didn't he say like, well, were you at the event last month? And Jimmy was like, yeah. He goes, I was in that one. And Jimmy's like, fuck. And I'm sitting right there like, what is he, dude, you ever lie yourself into a freaking corner? And you're like, I'm in too deep. I have to lie my way through this.
I just kept going. He just kept going, and it kept working out.
Anyone that knows Jimmy, though, totally stand-up dude, honest dude, and he just had to be someone else in that moment. Too funny.
It's one of the few times in his life.
He's never seen indie wrestling. He doesn't go watch that shit. Although we should sometime. That sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on that for sure.
Dude, I do want to shift gears real quick and offer our genuine love and concern for KC current president Raven Jemison, who issued a statement. God dang, when was this? April 14th. So 2 days ago, if you're listening to this when it drops, was diagnosed with breast cancer. You saw this?
I did, yeah.
Wild, bro. Found out like the day before opening day, or shortly before opening day. Said I was diagnosed with breast cancer. The amazing team at University of Kansas Health System caught it early. The world-class care she's received already. She's in good hands. just wants to remain transparent through all this, and encouraging others to prioritize their health and scheduling regular mammograms and stuff. Like when this kind of stuff happens to you and you have an influential position like a president of a soccer club, you could really be influential to other people. But dude, love and respect to this person. Raven, we're thinking about you and hope everything goes well, man. Scary stuff.
Yeah, and I really do appreciate her being transparent, because something like that might inspire just one or two other people to go get checked, and they could have something.
Yeah.
So just
she didn't have to do that. A statement did not have to get issued. This could have been a thing totally under the wraps. Like a lot of people just keep their health problems to themselves and don't say anything about it. And it's like, dude, we are a community, a society, and we can like band together and help each other through things if you just ask for help, if you just ask for someone to listen. I've learned that a lot, bro. I'm so quiet, like on social media sometimes, and like no one knew I was doing hip replacements and shit. And the moment I said something, the outpouring of love was insane. Now I'm not comparing this to cancer at all. Don't think I'm saying that,
right?
But I'm just saying, like, if we stay quiet, then we will be alone. Yeah, pretty wild. And that's philosophical Wednesday for you.
I guarantee you, there's somebody or a couple people out there that's going to go in and get checked because of her. Open.
Oh, sure.
Her honesty and transparency. Somebody's going to go, take care of her health because of her.
And you have to be a certain age, right? It's over 40, right? Or is it even in your 50s? I don't know. These are two dudes talking about mammograms. Let's not go there.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Google people.
Please look it up, and if you're kind of fall within that range, please go get checked out.
Talk to your healthcare professional. We're not down a road,
and we are not it.
We're already two dudes talking about women's sports. We don't need to be talking about women's health. Let's in that sense, we're gonna take a break. That sounds like a great idea. We'll take a break and we'll be right back to talk about the victory. So stay right there.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Are you ready to win some real cash during the basketball playoffs? Well, check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick 6 posterizes the competition. And yeah, that includes prize picks. Hit all your picks and score higher minimum payouts on Pick 6, plus even more cash if you outscore the competition. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. New players get 50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Here's what you got to do. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to play $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Listen, I don't know if everyone hears that tickets for less ad, but that guy that does the ad, he just sounds so handsome. God. Just sounds like a hunk. And I don't know. Would love to meet him someday. Dude, that was Nick, our producer. He just put in the chat. He's not handsome.
He's just being humble. He is just being love,
bro. Self-love. Dude, we are still undefeated. As the week stands, we are still top of the table. Not the top. We are tied with Orlando at the top. One behind them on goal differential.
We're catching up.
Catching up, bro. When they win by 1 and we win by 2, you catch up. It just is what it is. It's phenomenal, man. It's only 4 games into the season, still very early. But some highlights here, man. I want to hit this around the league real quick. It was a week of road wins. I believe there was one team who did not win on the road this weekend, and it was North Carolina. Every other team won on the road. Isn't that dope?
That's wild.
I mean, statistically, that should not happen. Like, statistically, the home team should majority win. And that's kind of a testament to, like, does home field advantage really freaking matter? I mean, I don't know. Like, shouldn't Houston have gotten it done with Angel City at home? Seattle did hold Orlando to 1 goal, so that's something, I guess. But
I mean, let's take a look at like the fan base. Houston, right? Not exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these teams, it just makes you appreciate Kansas City Current CPKC kind of advantage that we have, right?
Sure.
People are not going to come into our house and get an easy victory at all. They may get a draw, but they will not get an easy victory. That's for certain.
It gets loud. It gets real loud. Dude, you know what I did? My old ass bought event earplugs.
Yeah. Oh man,
protecting my ears, bro. They're blasted. I've been to a lot of concerts where I wish I would have had them because you just feel hurt afterwards. And I tried them out at Sporting on Sunday. I had a great time. I had a wonderful time. I could still hear everything, but it was just a little muffled. It was wonderful.
I feel like if you've listened to us over the past few years in the progression, you could tell how old we were getting. Hip replacements, earplugs. Like I'm talking about how, like, I don't know, I'm slowing down and getting banged up all the time. And
you're not slowing down or getting banged up. You're changing brake fluid and stuff. Like you're fine. But I am getting old, and ear health is nothing to scoff about. You want to talk mammograms? You want to talk ear health? I got you. Well, yeah. Home field advantage. It's not the same across the league. I would have thought the AFC would have handled Chicago a little better because they're not.
That was a weird one. That was a weird one.
Chicago's at near the bottom, bro. It's not great. But everything else, everything else went kind of as it was. Washington got the victory. Portland won. Angel City beat Houston. Orlando won. We won. Gotham won. That Chicago one just surprises me. But they couple good goals on their end too.
And I could be wrong, but I think Nair set the record for goalkeeper wins or something like that.
Really?
Which, if she had a better team the last couple years, would have eclipsed that a while ago. But good for her. Such a legend. The women's soccer 100% in that position.
On to our game. It was a nice little game. Speaking of being old, bro, took myself a little nap. I was prepped. I was fresh for this one, baby. I almost didn't wake up with my alarm. I was like, God damn, we gotta go. But it's good, man. I mean, getting a win on the road is hard. Getting a 2-goal win on the road is also hard. But here we go again, getting it done in the first half and just having to coast in the second. Like, you can't ask for much more than that. Their goalkeeper probably wishes they would have done a little better. Sheridan, isn't that the Canadian national team goalkeeper as well?
Correct.
Yep. And, we talked last week about how their attacking 3 was doing pretty good things. So we were kind of worried how our defense would handle. No complaints. It feels like things were pretty good. But let's talk about this, buddy. Our old friend Michelle Prince gets the start up top. I was a little surprised. I mean, Prince doesn't really get starting minutes like this, but why the hell not? I mean, Fabinho drops back in that midfield role. Vanessa DiBernardo takes a seat on the bench. Do we know why? Any knock or anything?
I don't think so, but I do think it's such a stacked team, right? I think it was more of a tactical thing. It's
switch it up.
Yeah, it's week 4, right? This is a long season. get the veterans some rest.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know we're coming off of international break, right? But there's no need to play her for a full 90.
True. Izzy back in there as well, getting that left back starting spot. And everything else looks good, man. The Bean is just that freaking maestro, though. I mean, there are times in the game where I couldn't tell if she's a midfielder or a forward. And that's scary for other
endurance.
Like, Jesus, what position is she playing?
Her endurance is just astronomical. Like, and she's so efficient with her movements and her IQ and what she does. I mean, she's everywhere, but I guarantee you she doesn't, because she knows how to play the game. She's not exerting as much energy as like a Chawinga. Not saying Chawinga doesn't know, but Chawinga's a racehorse, right? She just goes back and forth. I think Dabina's a little more methodical and like her placement on the field. She's absolutely everywhere.
100%. Dude, I do want to say this game coming into it, Chawinga was on, tied her record from last year, eight games in a row with a goal. And we wanted her to break her own record. We're like, this is that 9th game. She almost does. In like the 9th minute, she's in on the keeper, Michelle Cooper, giving her excellent through ball, like always. And it just gets stuffed. And long story short, man, she never did get her 9th goal. And despite the win, I was a little sad for that. History could have been made again. You know what I mean?
We've been spoiled, right? It seems like every game we're looking at some record that may or may not be broken or tied.
I know.
But yeah, I'm with you. I wish she could have got that. She had an opportunity, like you said, Michelle put that through ball, and it kind of looked like she was torn between taking a touch on the outside or just trying to, toe poke it under her legs or something. But Sheridan's a good goalkeeper too, so
yeah,
she made a pretty clutch save.
She had a few great saves, honestly. It was just, I don't know, it just didn't matter though, because it come the 16th minute. We're not even halfway through the first half. I believe Izzy was putting excellent service into the box all night. I mean, she hit Michelle Cooper on a long ass ball, like straight to her, and it just took like a weird bounce, and Michelle like couldn't really get some power on it, But this one, in the 16th minute, crosses it in. Dabina just kind of has to just tail whip it, just leg whip it, and it's just kind of a slow bouncer into the goal, man, and into the net. I just don't think the goalkeeper was expecting it. I think maybe her vision was blocked with a lot of her own defenders. Really tough break for her. But Dabina, 50 goals and 25 assists is the club she just joined, man. I mean, that's she's the 5th in NWSL history to do that. 50 and 25.
That's legend.
Yeah, it is.
Just shows how good she is year in and year out, man. She never has an off year. Her quality is always, above everybody else. And that's why you get moments like this. She, like I said, she kind of took a settling touch a little bit. And
little half volley.
Yeah. Little half volley and just kind of, leg whipped it in there. And it didn't have a ton of pace, which is probably good, because if it had more, she might have just blasted it somewhere else. But yeah, like you said, it just kind of had enough, which is all that matters. But the keeper's vision probably was blocked. Angle was probably, she wasn't expecting it to go that way, but that just shows you how good Dabina is.
Izzy's first assist of the year. First of many, if you want to be honest. I can just see there more coming just because of how confident she looks putting a ball in from that left side. And she just pops that ball up to herself, and Dabina just gets hard to get power on it, but she just swings her leg, and goalkeeper probably should have had it. But hey, it all worked out, man. Vlaco even stands up.
That's one that the keeper's going to look back and or in the film room, they're going to look back and, she's going to realize she should have had that one.
Oh yeah, 100%. Minutes later, dude, in the 20th minute, Claire Hutton shoots on goal, and we got a handball in the box. We have got a handball, and it's feeling good. I will say, I don't really like these announcers sometimes, but I did agree when they're like, Why doesn't he just go look at it? Why do they wait for someone else in their ear to tell them, hey, you should go look at it? Like, it's really taking time away from the game. I 100% agree. If there's even what's it going to cost you? You just run over to the sideline to the cooler to check it, but you have to wait for someone else to check it. Like, you have to make the final decision anyways. So why doesn't the referee just go do it?
I felt like somebody was taking a pee break in the middle of the game.
Someone definitely was peeing or refilling their lunch.
Yeah, that was a clear, VAR situation. Whether it was or it wasn't. I mean, obviously it was, but in terms of whether it should have been reviewed, it should have been reviewed quickly. There's no reason it should have taken that long. And to go back just a quick second, that ball that came in was from Izzy, and that looked almost identical from the Debinha assist there. But yeah, they shouldn't have taken so long, and it just, I feel like it slowed the game down after that.
It slows the game down, which is arguably the fastest game out there. I mean, probably aside from hockey, right? Like the back and forth and all that stuff. And then in true dramatic fashion, this fucking ref, he just goes like this and then fancy jogs off. I'm like, stop. Don't be showing off your freaking gazelle stride. Get over there, review the play, man. These players are now getting cold halfway through this first half. Like, let's go. And I think it was chilly. Southern California gets a little cold when the sun goes down in April. You saw the sideline had coats on, for God's sakes. Vlatko sporting that black coat, looking svelte. It was great, man. But now the players just sit around, talking. Clear your throat, whatever. Hey, how you doing? How's the game going for you? While the ref takes a sweet freaking time to call this handball. And Lowe steps up and gets the job done, because that's what Lowe does, dude. She picks her spot and just hits it. It's insane.
Well, Sheridan is such a good keeper when it comes to PKs. I can't remember, but I think she actually blocked her last one a couple years ago. I think Lowe's like 10 for 11, I believe, or 11 for 12, one of those stats. But yeah, absolutely buried it. I mean, that ball would have not been saved at all by anybody. That was such a great PK by Lowe. And, you see this on the sporting side, when we lost Benny, right? Like, having a confident, talented PK taker is incredibly underrated. Because after Benny left, like, I feel like sporting, you couldn't count on a PK at that point. But credit for Lowe for being so ice cold, man, so clutch.
Consistently clutch.
Yeah.
Also didn't like the announcers just watching this replay over and over and being like, looks like it hits her thigh from that angle. And I'm like, no, the F it doesn't. It absolutely hits their hand. Like,
her
what
arm,
were you watching?
Her whipped back, her arm made her natural position bigger. Like, I don't get.
I don't know, man. So, honestly, it was the same announcer as the last away game that was talking about, like, I don't know who we said it was. We figured it out.
It's a ball going over the line, kind of a.
Yeah, like what are the rules on that? And it's like, well, it has to go over the line. Ding dong. What are you talking about? So, anyways, dude, tell me you're nervous about Lowe taking a penalty ever. Like, we are starting to get spoiled. We're starting to feel really good about her stepping to the line like that, no matter who she's against. And she changes it up. She might go slow and soft into the corner. She might go hard and fast into the freaking upper netting. Like, I'm so nervous to try something cute on a penalty. We would take penalty kicks against each other just for fun, playing around. And I would just blast it into one corner. I would never try to go upper netting or a Panenka, anything. I was not trying to blast a post. But Lowe is just so, like, cute with her positioning. Just picks different spots every time. So a goalkeeper has zero idea what she's going to do.
I mean, these keepers obviously research the PK takers, and they study and try and predict what they're going to do. And Lowe is very difficult to try and predict what she's going to do.
And I will say, dude, Sheridan went the right way. Just Lowe put it outside of her dive. Like, if it was, 6 inches less than where it went, I think that gets saved. Pretty good.
And that ball has pace on it too. That thing was a rocket. That was not like that. That thing had a lot of speed going on that.
Mm-hmm.
Had it been slower, maybe Sheridan could have adjusted, but it just happened so quickly.
Not 10 minutes later, man, Lowe tested Sheridan with a huge shot from distance on the keeper. It went over the bar. She's probably listening to her husband too much on those kind of power shots. No, little Roger catching strays on the podcast. Dude, it was that would have been great to have a brace, but we took a little 2-goal lead into halftime. We got to talk about Michelle Cooper real quick before we hit the second half. Injury, bro. Do we know anything about that?
I have not seen any update, man. So if anybody didn't watch the game, ankle injury, kind of non-contact. She was gingerly on the side.
She had to come off. Dia came on like with 1 minute left in the half.
Yeah, the medical staff, once they got to her, they basically were like, nope, she's not coming back. So I don't know. In the post-game press conference, Wladko said, she's being evaluated that evening. They'll know more. Obviously, we don't know more at this point. But man, we'll talk a little bit.
Nervous.
Yeah, it just sucks because she's on such a good tear, man. She's
national team duty.
She's one of the most impactful players on the team right now. Like I looked up some stats here a couple minutes ago. Per 90, she has 1.16 goal and assist per game. 1.16 goal, goal/assist per game. She is averaging almost 3/4 of an assist a game. Like she's, when you watch the game, she's incredibly impactful. When you look at the numbers and the stats, she's incredibly impactful. We have a lot of depth, but that does not mean that, we want her to be, having any kind of time off right now. Her momentum, man. Her momentum is through the roof right now.
Oh yeah. And getting nods with the national team and starts and stuff, and coming in and playing those games are so important for her development. And she's been looking like a true pro these past couple seasons. And to have a non-contact injury, man, you automatically think, oh shit, ACL or Achilles. And the way she was holding her Achilles, I was like, fucking hell. But then she gets up and she's like, I'm fine. And it's like, hold on, are you fine? Like, what is going on? So
yeah, she 0.69 assists per game. That's nuts.
Damn near 1 assist a game. Love that.
Yeah.
Let's take our quick break here, and we'll jump right back into the second half. So be right back.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
We are back, and second half is here, man. I'm feeling a little nervous here because Bia had to come in at the end of the second half. I'm like, man, why? How are you going to warm up, play 2 minutes, and then go sit in a locker room? Like, that sucks a lot. But here we are. San Diego kicked up the pressure a little bit. You know what I mean? They had some scoring opportunities there. It was getting a little worrisome. I was like, shit, man, if they get 1 goal, like, they are back in this game. We can't have it. You can't have that. Were you nervous at any point?
Yes, but I felt confident in our defense. I felt confident in Hutton kind of shutting down some of those passes that would, the pass before the pass that kind of links up a good opportunity. Our back line was really good. It did get hairy though. When you take a look at the flow chart, man, you see the whole first half. It's all Kansas City Current, right? 2 goals, all Kansas City Current. Second half, there's a little blip that you even see that we're, the Current are on, even on the chart. It was all San Diego. And when you take a look at the XG for the game, Kansas City 1.2 XG, San Diego 0.6. So, and that PK for Lowe is 0.8 XG is off of a PK attempt. So, not a whole lot of offense outside of what we already discussed throughout the rest of this game. But I was nervous, but I was confident in our defensive line.
I got to tell you, dude, in Lorena, we trust. Like, our defensive line is really good, but Lorena came up with 2 really great saves in the second half. One was like a diving extension, a shot from distance that is going into the side of the net. It's going to go in the goal. Another one was like point blank. Like there was a through ball. She was coming. This gal just had to slide it in. And Lorena was able to sprawl and get a kick save there. It was, I'm liking her. I'm liking what I'm seeing back there. It's insane to me that she's so good. That's not insane. She's a freaking Brazilian goalkeeper. What are we talking about?
Vlatko, during the post-game interview, somebody asked, and I wish I knew who asked, but somebody asked, talk a little bit about Lorena's like mental, fitness in terms of like, she doesn't have a lot to do for a while, stretches of mental game.
Okay.
Yeah. But the moment there's an opportunity and she has to come up big and she has to, make a save, she does. Like that must be very difficult for the whole first half to almost have nothing, and in the second half, you're just, at least in this game, constantly kind of on edge. But this is not the first point blank save she's made this year. She's just doing everything right, man. It's just, I don't know if we're catching some lucky breaks or it's just, showing how good she is, man. But another clean sheet for her.
Another clean sheet, dude. As a goalkeeper, like wins are great, but clean sheets are what you want. And you go in and you dap up your defenders. You're like, yes, we did this. You four and me, we did this. And that it's important. I mean, it's important towards goal differential, which could influence seeding come playoff time.
It did last year by a goal. We would have had home field up till the final.
I know. It's wild, man. I'm impressed by San Diego's pressure in the second half, though. They clearly did something at halftime, and we handled it. So that's good. We're perfect 4-0 to start 2025, and that's the fifth team in NWSL history to begin a season with 4 consecutive victories. So could be cool to get a fifth this weekend against the Houston Dash, man. 6:30 Central. You gonna be at this one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you gonna make it as well?
I don't know. I don't know if I will.
Okay.
As we mentioned, it's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
So, but man, Davinia doing history there, 50 goals, 25 assists. Chawinga scored in a league record 8 consecutive regular season appearances on 2 occasions. So that's pretty cool. Now she's just got to build towards that third one. Can you imagine? No one's ever done that shit. So moving towards Houston, this should be manageable. This should be something we should be able to do, man. We should be able to get the victory here. I have no issues here, but I'm like, when I'm not nervous, that's when shit goes wrong. So I hope our focus is still there.
Yeah, just a couple general stats thrown at you. Dash 4 goals. They scored 4. They've given up 6. They average 1 goal per game. 3 shots on target, 1.5 big chances per game. 57% possession, so they'll dominate possession in this matchup, which the current give up possession anyway. They don't care. That's not something they build into their game plan. But they do have Jane Campbell, who is always a problem.
Always good.
But their defense is, their back line has not been great, so I think they're going to give up opportunities. I was reading an article yesterday, just kind of a recap of Houston and Angel City, and Angel City went in and beat Houston, and in the article it referenced that speed is Houston Dash's killer. So they struggle with speed and they struggle in transition, and that just happens to be one of our strong points and where we thrive. So if we can set Prince loose and Chawinga and Dabinia and have Bia, play some good hold up and spring other players, I think that'll give us a lot of success.
I agree with you. Before we get too deep into it, I want to read what Chip sent over.
Okay.
Chip, the keeper of stats, the old Chip shot segment here on the pod. He
Is that
said,
the official name, by the way? Or
we're throwing stuff, see what sticks,
Okay.
like spaghetti on the wall, just seeing if it's al dente,
Yeah.
But no, he talked about this previous game and then also talks about Houston coming up here. So Chip says, Another week and another win. The Current are proving again and again they deserve their praise no matter where we play. The Current and Orlando are the only teams which have a big old 0 for goals allowed per game while away. We also have the average best goal differential while away, maybe just because we bagged 2-0 wins at both the Washington Spirit and the San Diego Wave, but that's a story for another day. The Current came out strong with 2 goals scored on 1.2 XG compared to San Diego's 0 goals from 0.6 XG, but we saw another KC Current performance with an offense-heavy first half and no marked shots in the second half at all. Like, the last shot from the Current was in stoppage time of the first half when Wheels put one off target. Sad to see that Chewinga's streak came to a close with only 1 shot in the game, and it makes me wonder what the plans are for the offense in the second half. Is this according to the plan, or are we just slipping a bit once the legs get a little tired? Current held the game with only 37% possession and only 69% passing accuracy. We did have only 1 fewer shot than the Wave did for the entire game, and we only took shots in the first 45. That's wild, for one. Next week, we host Houston, a team with only 1 win and 1 draw in its first 4 games. That 1 win was against Chicago, who has not exactly had a stellar start to their season. Houston's only win was also their only away game, though, so who knows if that magic can hold on. Hopefully, Michelle Cooper doesn't have any long-standing injury and is ready to bounce back. But even if she rests, we have Bia back, so we aren't exactly short on attacking options. We have gone 4 for 4 with our perfect record, but so has Orlando. Who will blink first? There you go, man. So Houston's only win came on the road. That says something.
I think he touched on something pretty important too, is that second half, just going back a little bit with the Wave. I don't know if it was Cooper going out. I don't know if it was a game plan to kind of bunker in. I don't know if it's the fact that San Diego is one of the highest possession rates in the league and we have one, some of the lowest. So all of that together just kind of turns into, some tired legs and not kind of having that killer instinct. I feel like, we might be missing once we're up 2. We just kind of play to the level of competition as opposed to like going for the throat. But Chip might, be onto something there. But I hope we can turn it around at home and really just put just blast Houston and really get our confidence back in terms of multiple goals.
Well, and it's worth saying too, like we do want Michelle Cooper to play, but also like it is not the end of the world. And if she can't, because we have another person there ready to go in Bia or Michelle Prince, anybody, you know what I mean? There's people there that can play. So
what's the point of having, incredible depth if we're not going to use it when a player's, battling an injury?
That's the plan. Yeah. And even if she's not 100%, I'd still rest, you know what I mean? And then maybe get her like some late garbage minutes if we need it. You know what I mean? Get her in there, run around for a bit for 10 minutes. Right.
Yeah. I mean, we still got Bia, like Chip mentioned. I don't know if she's going to get a full 90. I would be surprised if she did. She got a half. Obviously I don't know if it was a planned half, but she got a half. So, Haley Hopkins might be a player to, if we have a lead, right, he's come up there and kind of a little bit of the same style, kind of a bigger body forward, some hold up play. So I wonder if they're going to split some time, but
yeah,
I feel pretty confident about this matchup.
Should be fun. Some other things around the league this weekend, man. It's you got triple header on Friday. Not triple header. These games kind of overlap a little bit, so you can't watch them all. But something I'm watching is Orlando and Washington. A little rematch of NWSL final, a little rematch of the Challenge Cup before the season started. That is the game, and it's not even in prime time, bro. And it's not even on like Paramount Plus or CBS. It's on Ion. So get your Pluto TV or your Tubi out, and that's at 4:00 on Saturday. That's a big one.
Yeah, that could be, part of where you see the top 3 teams kind of differentiate themselves.
Things could happen there because, I mean, bro, if Washington gets a victory, they're right up there tied, with the top spot there, depending on how we do. So,
or even a draw. They just get a draw and we get a win. We're in first place.
True. Yeah. This is where shit can shift, man. And Orlando is at home, and so that is worth mentioning. But gosh dang it, if I'm not kind of rooting for a draw there, you kind of root for that. They both can't lose, so you got to root for them to get 1 point each.
Yeah, it's kind of the best case scenario. I'd like to finish first, but I really want to finish first or second.
Yeah. Another rare thing that is on the schedule, man. Like Portland and Gotham both play on Friday, and then they have to play each other on Tuesday. A rare game on a Tuesday. I don't get it, but
I wonder if that had to do with like stadium scheduling or some media scheduling. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know either, but it is what it is. Anything else worth mentioning about the games this weekend? You got Portland versus Seattle, which is always kind of a little rivalry, right?
Yeah. I mean, just when I look at Houston by the numbers, man, they're just mid or the lower half of pretty much any metric.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a lot of possessions won in the final third, so they're tied with us. So it seems like they're preventing a lot of shots, but they're clearly getting through. Well, one thing I did, 2 quick stats here. So according to OptaJack, Kansas City Current's the second team in NWSL history to win each of its first 4 matches by multiple goals. The only other team was in 2014, and that was the Seattle Reign.
Wow. Okay. Love that.
Yep. And let's see here. According to Opta again, they have the global power rankings that compares all the women's teams across the world here. And Kansas City Current is 6th in the rankings, the number 1 NWSL team, but they have them as 6th across the global power ranking.
What? Where's Orlando at?
8.
Wow. So, like, for reference, who's number 1?
Barcelona.
Okay. I assume, like, Chelsea's up there, too?
Yeah, it goes Barcelona, Chelsea, Lyon, Arsenal, Man City, and then the Kansas City Current.
What the hell?
I don't know how they come up with it.
Crazy.
It's still kind of cool to have a metric, though, to kind of judge or somehow rank club teams.
Yeah. Power rankings are what they are, right? I don't read too much into them, but it is always cool when like your team is mentioned highly. Hell, I was excited this past weekend that Sporting KC's power rankings was like second to last. I'm like, we ain't last, baby. It felt good.
Well, just kind of shows you the strength of the league. They had 8 of the top 20 were NWSL teams.
Man, that says a lot.
So
a growing situation.
Well, when you look at, you might have a couple of the top teams, in the Premier League, but we have more teams in the top 20 in NWSL than any other league. So pretty cool.
I love that. I love it so much. Cool, man. Coming to an end here. Feeling good about this weekend. It sounds like we both are. Anything else of note?
I don't think so. I think I'm good on my end.
Dope, man. Hey, this could be a big weekend for us. This could be a leap into first place for us. It very much could. Even if us and Orlando both win and we surpass them on goal differential, like it's a big weekend. So
which we very well could. That could be a possibility.
6:30 game, man. Get out there early, as all you parking people know, and cheer them on. Get loud. Wear your earplugs, and as always, hit us up on the emails on nootherpod@gmail.com. You can hit us on socials at nootherpod, at Dan Kooser, at Chris Wright 21. Leave us 5-star ratings and reviews. It's been a while since we got one on Apple Pods and Spotify. And tell us how much you love the pod and all that stuff. So I haven't gotten to read a review in a while because everyone's left them already, apparently. There's no one left to leave a review. I refuse to believe there's anyone listening that hasn't left a review. So, all right, for Chris, I'm Daniel. God dang, we love you. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.